what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken?
The tide has officially turned in Hollywood, and the buzz? Absolutely explosive. Rumors are flying that Jack Black took a not-so-subtle jab at Rachel Zegler just as her new Snow White adaptation crashes spectacularly at the box office. Meanwhile, Minecraft, led by Jack's larger-than-life energy, is rocketing toward blockbuster status. The whispers are spreading fast, casting Rachel as the butt of Jack's sharp-tongued humor. And to some, it's not just comedy, it's poetic justice.
I sat through the whole thing. This was really bad. It was extremely leftist on every political dimension. Racial politics, sexual politics, class politics, regime politics. Its narrative was cowardly. It was just awful.
And you know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million.
They say all you have to do to make your wish come true is let it echo, 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 echo.
It's awful, generic. Never mind that the lyrics make no sense at all. All you have to do to make your dream come true is let it echo. Is it like on a metaphor?
Queen playing the evil queen. It was pretty amazing.
The trash talk is loud, but the most brutal blow? Fans are tearing Rachel's Snow White to shreds, accusing her of abandoning everything that made the original story a timeless classic. The backlash is so intense, it's got Disney ducking for cover, while Minecraft marches forward with a smug, unstoppable grin. And if that wasn't enough,
last week was a very big week, objectively a huge week. We had quite a few announcements as first live-action film, which is Snow White and the Evil Queen. And that's me, I'm Snow White, which is so funny.
Lines that they say, like magic mirror on the wall. It was a lot of fun.
She came out and she said, I apologize. Like, I went too far. But it wasn't.
Into this, the first villain Disney ever had. It's really getting myself into this big crown.
Pretending like Rachel Zegler is the first of them all when she looks like Lord Farquaad in the film.
The Hollywood spotlight has shifted, and this time, it's casting a brutal glare. Rachel Zegler is at the center of a firestorm as fans call out her attitude toward the beloved Snow White original. And now, many are pointing to her as the key reason behind what some are calling a humiliating public meltdown. It's a full-blown Hollywood battlefield, no ceasefire in sight. Now buckle up because the next bombshell hits even harder. Snow White was supposed to be Disney's next unstoppable blockbuster. Backed by a massive $300 million budget, a global marketing blitz, and a rising star meant to reimagine an age-old fairy tale. Rachel was billed as the fresh face who'd breathe new life into the very first princess ever created. But for many, the magic never showed up. I wanted my money back. It was very disappointing. This is so typical of the left. Progressives always find a way to call it progress, but somehow, it always goes backwards. The word on the street is brutal. The box office returns are laughably low. Some insiders are calling it one of Disney's most embarrassing failures in recent memory. While fans cry foul over the film's modernized, allegedly disrespectful tone, others say Rachel's lack of star power sealed the film's fate. But here's where the controversy really explodes. Rachel Zegler's own comments that the original Snow White story felt outdated reportedly turned off die-hard fans from the start. Her remarks, intended to empower, instead alienated the very audience Disney counted on. And let's not forget the Seven Dwarfs, now rebranded as magical beings. Many saw this as not progress, but erasure, especially within the disability community. They just erased dwarfism entirely. It's not inclusion, it's erasure. And that's just the beginning. Online critics have torn into Disney for what they call a failure to do basic research, accusing the studio of hiring a Zoomer with zero understanding of the story's legacy. Early reviews were brutal. Social media? A war zone. What started as concerns spiraled into chaos. Whispers of canceled press events, crisis meetings, and radio silence from the studio itself. Disney loyalists who once cheered every remake are now openly offended. No one on the right side of America can stand this star. A movie about true love? She mocked that idea. Many critics say Rachel came off as dismissive, whiny, and out of touch. A symbol, they claim, of everything wrong with this reimagining. But here's the twist, because standing in the spotlight now is someone entirely different, Jack Black. While Snow White collapses, Minecraft, a film powered by Jack's signature comedic genius, is exploding at the box office. Once doubted, now dominating. Critics call it hilarious, heartfelt, and exactly what fans wanted. Jack Black, known for his outrageous charisma and unmatched timing, is allegedly soaking in every ounce of success, and according to whispers online, he's not holding back. Rumors say he's taken aim at Rachel Zegler, mocking not just her performance, but the entire Snow White fiasco. Sources claim that behind closed doors and in backstage interviews, Jack's been delivering savage one-liners. If she'd mined for better lines, maybe the film wouldn't have flopped. Some even say he compared Minecraft's side characters to Snow White's missing dwarfs, with fans calling it the ultimate comedic burn. It's the kind of roasting only Jack Black could pull off, and people are loving it. Memes are everywhere. Jack with a pickaxe. Rachel's Snow White crying. Hashtags are trending. Hashtag mining Rachel, hashtag box office justice. But is it too far? Some say Jack is the voice of comedic truth, exposing arrogance and missteps. Others think it's cruel, especially with Rachel already under fire from every direction. Still, the momentum behind Minecraft can't be stopped, and with each box office milestone, Jack's rumored jabs only get bolder. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler's silence is deafening. No interviews, no statements. Her social media? Quiet. Some say it's smart, avoiding further backlash. Others call it a retreat. Behind the scenes, sources claim Disney advised her to lay low, hoping to salvage what little remains of the film's reputation. But online, the battle only intensifies. Critics slam Rachel for her past remarks. Fans dissect every interview. Comment sections overflow with debates. Was this a failure of modernization, marketing, or misunderstanding the legacy of a beloved tale? One thing's clear, Jack Black's comedic firestorm has added fuel to an already out-of-control blaze. And as the dust settles, the final question remains: can a pixelated game with no dwarfs, no fairy tale, and no prince really overshadow a Disney classic? According to fans, critics, and the exploding box office numbers, the answer is a loud, echoing yes. Fans, supporters, and critics alike are demanding answers. They want to know, how did the hype for Snow White spiral into one of the biggest letdowns in recent Disney history? They want Rachel Zegler to break her silence, address the rumored shots Jack Black is taking, explain her infamous comments about the original fairy tale, and give her side of the story. But instead of clarity, all they're getting is silence. And in that silence, an echo chamber, buzzing with speculation, frustration, and comedic potshots from the other side. No one knows if Rachel is planning a big comeback interview or a heartfelt apology. Some guess she might admit to underestimating how deeply people are attached to the classic Snow White. Others suspect she'll double down, defending her modern take. Meanwhile, Jack Black, according to the rumors, is quietly relishing the chaos. His Minecraft movie isn't just a hit. It's a cultural phenomenon. And his alleged comedic jabs? They're going viral. The victory dance is real, and it's leaving Snow White in the dust. But this isn't just a tabloid drama. It's a turning point. Because behind the gossip and memes lies a much bigger question. How are these social media storms, these viral comedic jabs, reshaping the way Hollywood thinks? This isn't just about one movie flopping. It's about what happens when a studio underestimates the emotional weight of a beloved classic. If the rumor holds true, that Rachel's dismissive comments fueled Snow White's collapse, then this is more than a PR disaster. It's a wake-up call. And studios everywhere are watching. Will Hollywood back away from risky reimaginings? Will they start respecting the source material instead of rewriting it for cheap applause? Or will this all fade away when the next shiny reboot drops? Because while Snow White flounders, Minecraft, a film based on digital blocks, is thriving. Jack Black's rumored one-liners aren't just entertaining, they're cutting deep. They're reminding studios of something vital. The formula for success might just be simpler than they think. A massive fan base, an actor who isn't afraid to be bold, and a creative team that respects the world they're stepping into. Contrast that with Snow White, a movie that, in the eyes of many, trashed its roots and underestimated the blowback. Online conspiracy theories are rampant. Some claim Disney will halt live-action remakes entirely. Others believe they'll continue, but with tighter control on press interviews. And what about Rachel? Some say her career is in jeopardy. Others believe that's an overreaction. She's talented, no question, but right now, she's in a PR freefall. And in the short term, the unlikeliest winner of this Hollywood showdown is Jack Black, the comedic icon who allegedly turned Snow White's meltdown into a punchline. A punchline fans are calling legendary. But let's peel back one more layer, because the drama doesn't stop there. According to whispers from inside Disney, top executives are furious. They reportedly never saw this coming, never imagined that Rachel's interviews would trigger this kind of backlash, never believed a quirky gaming movie would trample their prized princess remake. Now, there's talk that major producers wanted to step in, wanted to defend Rachel publicly, but it may be too late. Some press events were suddenly canceled, marketing efforts slashed. It all reeks of damage control. Meanwhile, Minecraft is expanding fast, opening in more global markets to ride the wave of success. The contrast couldn't be sharper. Snow White was supposed to be Rachel Zegler's launch into superstardom. Instead, it's become a case study in how not to reboot a classic. Minecraft, led by a comedic force who stayed true to the fun, is now an unstoppable juggernaut. And Jack Black's rumored wisecracks? They're the exclamation point at the end of one of Hollywood's most unexpected plot twists. But even with the curtain falling, one last lesson lingers. A legendary Disney tale, a modern remake, a rising star who misjudged the audience, and a comedic legend who, rumor has it, turned the whole thing into a global roast. The online battlefield is still ablaze. Fans picking sides, dissecting every quote, and waiting to see if Rachel Zegler will ever respond or fade from the spotlight. The true shock, though? How quickly a dream can unravel when the audience feels disrespected, and how a goofy, blocky game can triumph simply by honoring what made it special. Whether you view Jack Black's alleged mockery as justified or harsh, one truth stands tall. This fiasco has put every studio on notice. Remake a beloved story? You better treat it with care. Because if you don't, someone like Jack Black might be waiting in the wings, ready to turn your multi-million-dollar flop into a meme-worthy punchline. So, will Hollywood learn? Or will it all be forgotten the minute the next big reboot rolls out? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the audience? They won't forget this showdown anytime soon.